Hey, so I'd like to do this video on, and I would like to start with a meditation. And so we're going to be sending compassion to all beings, and right now the group that I feel most needs this, that isn't already getting it, is probably the police. Yes, Black Lives Matter, that's true. And, black people really deserve to have basic land. So each and every black person in America should have, just by right of birth in America as a citizen, at least a quarter hectare, preferably a hectare of land. Like land where you can actually grow things. And you can grow a food forest, just like is the natural state of kind of like the Amazon and quite possibly Africa, for as far as we know. I mean, breadfruit and mangoes, and then you have, with just those two 30-meter tall trees, you have all of your carbohydrate needs, and your protein needs and your fat needs. So, and isn't that just so wonderful? I think it is so wonderful. And how does that come about? Except through some kind of loving selection for having this wonderful kind of fruit. It's in fact natural for all beings to collect the fruit of the things that we love, like black squirrels. Black squirrels, they take nuts and bury them in locations where they could grow and turn into new trees, like walnuts or chestnuts. I see it happening all the time. And it is a great benefit to all society. And it's also known as kind of guerrilla gardening nowadays. But yeah, I started out my gardening experience by guerrilla gardening. Alright, so I guess we'll do a meditation now, at least for a few minutes. So, hello. We're going to send compassion to the police force right now. And for all of the cops I've ever interacted with, I've done so in the spirit of forgiveness and compassion and unconditional love. And I have had a wonderful experience every time. Because really, we're all one being. Yeah, I know. I'm very, very privileged because I'm actually probably one of the most privileged people in all of Earthkind. Like, my life is just so sweet because I have my basic needs met. That's right, everybody. Basic human rights. Everyone deserves basic human rights. Yeah, black people included, of course, of course. And you know, with basic land, everyone can grow their own food. And you can have all of your food and your shelter and your water needs met on site. You can have like a pond or a well, and you can be fully food and water sovereign. You know, you could use human manure under the trees and regular compost in other places. And the leaf litter from the trees is a constant source of mulch. Just gotta be aware of what you're mulching with what. Like if you have juglone leaves from a black walnut, then it's gotta go with something that's walnut compatible. Like, you know, hazelnuts or mulberries or pretty much anything native to our area. So we're going to embrace nature. And one of the best ways of doing that is for me to actually be in nature. And how can we be in nature? Well, we're going outside, of course. So, did you know that there has been systemic oppression of black people ability to own land? And same thing for indigenous people. So it is really, really crappy because, you know, that's just not nice. Oh, well, I think I will need extra protection if I want to be outside right now, because there's mosquitoes. I mean, I don't mind them too much, but it's good to be compassionate to your body, they say. So, compassion to the body. Alright, so I'm probably... I even have a flashlight that I could use. Here, maybe I can just change the setting. So if I sit up here, it'll be a while before the mosquitoes can find me. That way I don't have to do anything extra. Like, I think that's one of the nice things about meditating when you're in Tibet, you know, like I did about 1,000 years ago, is that there's like not many biting insects because it's a pretty dry place. Like here, like this is like the tropics of the temperate area where I live right now. You know, we get a meter of rainfall every year. Like the actual tropics. I'm working with someone in Uganda, and the land we're renting, it has probably in the range of 1.25 meters of rain. But like, say a desert area, it'll have, you know, much less. Like, so a cactus, like a cactus pear, will do well in anything 0.2 meters and above. Well, 0.2 meters to about 0.65 meters is the optimal growing range for cactus pears. Alright, that was gonna do a nature scene behind me. Okay, it's just this way. I'm kind of tilted backwards, so it's somewhat uncomfortable. But it's a nice view. Yeah. Breathing in, forgiving all that you're experiencing. Breathing out, sending compassion to all that you're experiencing. So, I have an interview tomorrow. For doing meditation classes. And I am grateful for my success in this experience, for our mutual benefit, that all may benefit, that I may be of service to others in helping them experience forgiveness and compassion. Do we love you all unconditionally? Yes, of course we do. Just feel the unconditional love, bask in it, the glory. All your spirit guides and all of creation is here for you, to help you grow and experience and learn. What is more peaceful than being in the serenity of life? Contemplate the questions and answers to all that exists. May I forgive myself. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. May I forgive myself. You're talking about yourself and the self. The self. May I forgive the self. The aspect of oneness that experiences self. All is forgiven. Just release. Release any tension in your body. Just let it go. It's okay. It's okay. Just breathe through it. May I be safe. May I feel safe in my own skin. May all my basic needs be met. Say it. Say it about yourself. About your aspect of self that experiences selfhood. All will experience self. Maybe one self, where we're all one. May I be wealthy. May I be grateful. May I experience gratitude for all that I have, so that I may manifest more of it. For gratitude, my friends, is the open door to abundance. This is a ham radio tower, in case you're wondering. That's coming up. Wonderful peer-to-peer internet. You can have your own internet over the wireless with your neighbors, even over the VHF. Probably. You know, in your intentional community and your connection to the other communities, it can be a viable route to sustainable internet that is censorship resistant anyways. Your internet came in through the airwaves. And with basic land, that's quite possible, because you have your own land. You could put up your own radio tower. You have it for life. It's basic. It's secure. It's basic human rights. Basic human rights that you be allowed to steward the land to meet your basic needs. Not all may succeed, but not all need apply. It's a feature that you can have a government program where the government helps basic land applicants buy land, and then the government can make it into severances, basic land severances, and give them out to whoever wants them. And I mean, I guess could have some kind of trade system, but one cannot give away their last piece of basic land. It's a general rule. And actually, one cannot have more than one piece of basic land, I guess, by definition. You could have other real estate. So it's no one is disowned from land. Everyone keeps their own land. It's just the land that goes on sale can be purchased with government assistance, and you'll get your basic land, and whoever sold it will get their money, because land goes for sale all the time. Yeah, and sure, it might drive up prices. But, well, it is what it is, guys. And, hey, who wouldn't want housing prices to go up? I don't know, most stock market people want to go up. So, everyone's happy. It's a win-win-win. Well, I guess people that want to buy land, they may want housing prices to go down. But if the government is offering you basic land, like your own hectare of land, for each citizen of the globe, or citizen of your country anyways, since the vast majority of countries have enough land for each person that lives there to have enough to sustain themselves, especially with edible food forests. Alright, so we'll go through this a little more quickly now. Okay, may I be safe? May I be wealthy? May I have community? May we all have community? May I have liberty, and may I have unconditional love? And now we do it for someone that's close to us, which is, say, like your spouse or a child or someone that you're very close to. Okay. And may I forgive them? And then you insert their name or whatever. So you can pick someone now. Okay, just to make it easier for everyone, I'm just going to use them. Yeah. Okay, may I forgive them? My close one. May I forgive my close one? There, we can do that. May I forgive my close one? May my close one be safe. Now we're imagining them being safe. May my close one be healthy. May my close one be wealthy. having all their basic needs met. Liberty, unconditional love, all that. Oh yeah, and may my close one have community. Like an edible food first community. May my close one have liberty. May my close one have unconditional love. Now we're going to pick a neutral person, such as a stranger that you don't really feel either way about, like a cashier maybe. Okay? May that stranger, may I forgive that stranger. May they be safe. May that stranger be wealthy. Mudita, joy for another's joy. Joy for another's joy. Mudita. Also known as sympathetic joy. It's getting dark. So, may they have community. May they have liberty. May they have unconditional love. Now we're going to move on to someone that is complicated to you. Someone you may have complicated feelings about. Maybe Trump? Maybe Biden? May we with you forgive. May we with you forgive them. May we with you forgive them. Jesus said, forgive thine enemies. And that was the book of Matthew. That's the authoritative book. And yeah, so we're gonna go on to may they have safety. May they be safe. We're forgiving them. These politicians and the police. we're forgiving everybody, all those people that you may have undesirable feelings towards. And any kind of resentment you have, you're just going to let it go now. Yeah, I know, I make it sound so easy. Because it could be. It can be with practice. For sure. Because resentment, some people think it's somehow they need to hold on to it. You know, they need to for their safety because they're so afraid. It's so sad. But it's only hurting themselves. Resentment causes cancer. So you just let it go. You just let it go. And you remember the present moment and find out what is happening right now. Love, forgiveness, stillness, a bird just peeping away in its cutie little way. And trees respiring. So now may they be safe. May they be healthy. Yeah, because you know, if they're healthy, then they're more likely to be nice people. May they be wealthy. May they have all their basic needs met. Because that's how it is with people. If people have all their basic needs met, and they have forgiveness, and water, and food, and all that wonderful stuff, that's all they need. You can, and then like, they don't need to do anything other than provide for their own basic needs. It's all good. You can grow their own food forest. You know, be part of a community where they contribute to the community. Social interactions, have spiritual growth. Unconditional love. So now we move on to may they have community. Because of course, anyone by their lonesome can get confused. And distant from the rest of society. Though if you're in nature generally, you just become more in tune with nature. And it's usually okay. It's usually not so bad. It's usually pretty good actually. Being in tune with nature. You know, camping out. Feeling the rhythm of life in a peaceful way. It's definitely possible. So, may they have liberty. And may they have, so, you know, may they be free to go. You know, no more prisoners, no more prisons. We just need to be compassionate to all beings. There's no criminals. There's only people. Because we're all one. I guess that's a hard one for someone. Yeah. Just, if you want to have liberty, then you must remember that we're all one being. So you must give everyone else liberty too. You know, liberty and a good life. They can have their basic needs met. You know how it is. And then you can join the service to others. society. So what do you deal? How do you deal with someone that's quote unquote psychotic or just deranged and going around doing bad criminal behavior? Well, you know how we do it in Africa. So it's like Ubuntu, and what you do is you put them in the center of the village, and then everyone gets around in a circle, and then they go around the circle and everyone says something good about the person standing in the middle. Yeah, that's right. We're proud of you. You are a fundamental well-being. Fundamentally well. Deep down, there's goodness in all of us. And it's important to understand the spiritual paths that are available. There's a service to others path, and there's the service to self path, and there's the people that haven't decided one way or the other. No, the earth itself has decided on service to others, and that is the direction that we are headed. Especially if you would like to join the new paradise in cooperative cooperation with the earth. Love and forgiveness to all. So once that person's standing in the center of the circle hears all the good things about them, they become reprogrammed. They become programmed to remember all the good things about themselves and all the good behaviors that they should enact in their experience. And so when I come across someone who seems to be having a negative experience, then we do forgiveness and compassion meditation together, and it helps us join in a loving, harmonious relationship. We are all one. May they have unconditional love. May the most complicated people have unconditional love. That's right. They already do. They already do. You know, you can say Allah or God or the majority of creation. I love them unconditionally. And forgives them for everything they've done already. You may be having a hard time, but you can just let it go. It's okay. It's okay. Just let it go. It's fine. It's fine. Trust me. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to love yourself. Remember, anything you see in another is actually something that you see in yourself reflected in another. So, when earlier I was saying all of my police interactions are peaceful and loving, that's what I meant. That I have forgiveness, compassion, and unconditional love. And the radiance bounces back. But yeah, I am a white guy who looks like Jesus. So that's privilege. And everyone deserves to have it. Basic land and the basic needs met. You know, especially diverse people. You know, black and indigenous and white people, I guess, in other areas. where they are not some kind of majority. It's good to have some diversity. And with intentional community, basic land communities, you can actually maintain genetic diversity as well. Because you could have groups that, because the groups are like between 1 to 60. And that's not a huge number of people. So now we're going to move on to unconditional love for all beings. So may I forgive all beings. May we with you forgive all beings. Okay, release the resentment and feel the rush of catharsis and forgiveness. So we're gonna do a quick little how to do forgiveness. So how it goes is, first you remember what it is that you felt guilty about in the past. And then you see what triggered it. Then you recreate that trigger in your mind. In your mind. You don't have to recreate it in reality. And you see yourself reacting to that trigger, or acting in a more compassionate way. See yourself kind of replaying that, but doing it in a more compassionate way. This is in your imagination, where you can imagine anything, right? Wink, wink. So now you've seen yourself doing it more compassionately. And you have learned your lesson, as long as you've committed to doing it more compassionately in the future, in a more safe and loving and kind and caring way. Because you've grown. That's why you can forgive yourself. Because you've grown as a person. You've learned your lesson. And if you haven't, it'll re-arise and you can work on it again. But the important thing is that you're working on improving yourself and being a more forgiving and compassionate person. Alright. So, enough of that. Now, may all beings be safe. May all beings be wealthy. How can all beings be wealthy, in a capitalist zero-sum society? Maybe not in a capitalist zero-sum society. Instead, how about one where humans have basic rights? Humans have basic rights, like land and welfare, as is written in the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, signed in 1967 by the UN, signed and ratified by the majority of nations all around the world, including America. All peoples must have their land so that they can grow their own food, along those words. I give you straight quotes later. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful passage. And we're all people. And the UN and the nations in like the 90s also, like the G7 or whatnot, they were saying that anyone that doesn't either have like sufficient employment or land where they can grow their own food is in a state of absolute poverty. So America is keeping black people in a state of absolute poverty and then being surprised that they're trying to provide for their own basic needs. It's like, you know, that's so silly. If you anyways, so we want everyone to have their basic needs met. Everyone. Black people, white people, brown people, red people, yellow people, all people, and live in cooperation with nature. So not like tilling agriculture, but permaculture. Because we love our earth and we don't want to wash our soils away. We want our soils to stay and to accumulate and to grow so that we with you may all have abundance. And that's why we wish wealth for all beings. Okay. Alright. Glad you understand that. Now, may we with you all be wealthy. May we with you all have community. May we with you all have community to connect with people. You know, I'm sure in the lockdown, some people are feeling it more than others. They need to connect with community. So, protests are great community, I guess. And may they have it. May they have that community. You know, may all people have community. May we with you all have community. Unconditional love. Yeah, so after community actually comes liberty. May we with you all have liberty to come and go as we please. You know, so that no one is locked down like a feudal serf. You know, I hope we learned that lesson. It's good to be able to be mobile. So you'd be able to like trade your basic piece of land for someone else's basic piece of land. But you can only have like one piece at a time. Of basic land. But you can own more real estate, you know, on the free market. There's more than enough basic land for all Homo sapiens, and then some. On a vegan diet anyways. Or mostly vegan diet with like insects or crustaceans. And may we with you all have unconditional love. Alright, well, that concludes the discussion for today. And I wish you many blessings. And may we with you all have many blessings. Forgiveness and compassion. love and unconditional surrender.